Very good afternoon, all of you. In this particular lecture, we will discuss Newton's forward interpolation. So, in previous lecture, we discussed Lagrange's interpolation, and in this particular session, we will see this particular method. Okay, so again, there is a small mathematical expression for this. We will see that and we will solve a numerical. So, let's consider a function y is equal to f of x, where y is a function of x, and that takes the values of y0, y1, y2 up to yn corresponding to the values of x0, x1, x2 up to xn. So basically you will have a data points x0, y0, x1, y1 and so on. One interesting thing I wrote here that x1 is nothing but x0 plus h. Similarly, x2 will be x1 plus h or x0 plus 2h. Again, in Lagrange's interpolation, the values of x were not equispaced, but here in the Newton forward interpolation, x are equispaced or equal intervals. So this is the basic difference between the Newton's forward interpolation and Lagrange's interpolation. When we say Lagrange's interpolation, the intervals are not constant, and here in Newton's forward, there will be a constant interval, and because of that constant interval, xi can be expressed as x0 plus ih. Sometimes this I can be replaced by p as well. So xi is equal to x0 plus ph can also be written, where I is equal to 0, 1, 2 up to number of data points. Again, here the data points x0, y0, x1, y1 up to xn, yn. So total number of data points will be n plus 1. And therefore, we can have a polynomial for y of x and its degree will be n. As n plus 1 data point, so degree will be n. And for simplification purpose or mathematical estimation point of view, we are assuming y of x0 is equal to y0, y of x1 is equal to y1, y of x2 is equal to y2 up to y of xn is equal to yn. So this is the, for the sake of notations and calculation point of view, we are taking those notations. Then after defining the notations, the formula for Newton's forward interpolation is, yeah, here you can see. And I guess you already studied this particular method in previous semesters. So the generalized formula is yp is equal to y of x0 plus ph, where x0 plus ph is nothing but the x, and we can expand this x0 plus ph and it will give y0 plus p delta y0 plus p into p minus 1 upon 2 factorial del square y0 plus p into p minus 1 into p minus 2 upon 3 factorial del cube y0 up to p into p minus 1 into p minus 2 up to p minus n minus 1 upon n factorial del raised to n y0. So this is the expansion of this function. So from that point of view, you can easily memorize and write the formula as well. Now here, as I mentioned, the x is nothing but x0 plus ph, where h is the interval and which is constant, or we can say that x are equispaced. Now few things you need to understand here. This formula is used for interpolating the values of y near the beginning of the set of tabulated values. This is very important. So you will have data points x0, y0, x1, y1, x2, y2 and so on. So whenever you are asked to interpolate to the value which is very close to the beginning values. Beginning means close to x naught, y naught, x1, y1, x2, y2. That these are the beginning values. So in that case, you can use this particular formula. Suppose you are asked to find out the value of y for x, and here x is very close to the last values of the uh, x. Then, for example, xn or x minus x n minus 1 or x n minus 2. So in that case, instead of forward, we will be using backward interpolation. But for our syllabus, we will have only forward interpolation. And generally you will be asked to find out the value of y near the beginning of the set of values. Again, sometimes the forward Newton's forward interpolation formula can also be used for extrapolating the values of y little backward. Means suppose the first value is x naught y naught, and you may be asked to find out the value of y minus 1 for x minus 1. Means we are going beyond the lower limit of the data set. So in that case also we can use this formula for extrapolating. And then next point is the first two terms of this formula gives the linear interpolation, while the first three terms gives a parabolic interpolation and so on. For example, if you consider only the first two terms up to this, so when you look at this, then it looks like y is equal to a plus bx. So this is called as a linear interpolation. When we consider first three, then it will be a second degree parabolic equation. If we take first three terms, four terms, then slowly we are increasing the degree of the polynomial. So it is up to you to what accuracy you want to go in order to predict. Instead of predict, I would say estimate the interpolating the data. So briefly, I will tell you, in Lagrange's method, intervals are not equal. In Newton's forward method, intervals are equal. That means x are equispaced in Newton forward interpolation. Second important thing is that this particular method, forward interpolation, used for calculating the value of y when x is very close to the beginning of the data set. And you can go for either linear interpolation or second degree parabola or third degree or so on. That depends on the data points. Okay, then we will take one example. The table gives the distance in nautical miles of the visible horizon for the given heights in feet above the Earth's surface. And you can see in the table the data points are given. And you are asked to find the value of y when x is 160 feet. So generally, as I told you in the previous class, you may get confused with the selection of method for interpolation. So that's why you need to read the problem very carefully. So what is given here? The distance y is given to you, and height is also given to you. And when you look at this problem, the name of the method is not mentioned to you. So you may have a confusion between which method, between Newton forward and Lagrange's, which method we need to use. So you need to check the values of x. And when you look at the values of x in this case, then the values of x are equispaced. So definitely we should go for Newton's forward method. So this is how you need to find out which method you have to use here. Second important thing is that you need to check the units. So the distance is expressed in miles and the height is expressed in terms of feet. So whenever you are asked to calculate the value of y for given x, then after calculating the value of y, you need to put its unit. That is also very important. Otherwise, you may lose a mark. Okay, so we understood from this problem that we need to apply Newton's forward interpolation method. Now we will start solving the problem. So first step is the values of x and y are given to you and you need to prepare a difference table. So you may ask, what is a difference table? So we will go back to previous slide. So here you can see del y naught, del square y naught, del cube y naught. So these are the values you need to find out. Along with that, you also need to find out what the value of p. Also, you need to calculate the value of y naught as well. So once you get all these values, you can put in this equation and calculate the value of yp. So that's why we need to prepare the table. Now here you need to understand very carefully how to prepare this table, because this is something very important. So in column number 1, we put the values of x, 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400, correct? In column 2, we put values of y, 10.63, 13.03, 15.04, 16.81, 18.42, 19.90, 21.27. So yes, we entered the value correctly. Then you need to calculate the value, prepare the column for the del. So first del value you can see it is 2.4. So how it is calculated? So it is the difference of 13.03 and 10.63. So here we calculate the value of del by taking the difference of y1 minus y0. So next value of y minus current value of y, or current value of y minus previous value of y. So this is how we take the difference and we prepare the first value. And where we have to write that value, you have to write in between these two values. So this is very important. This is how you have to prepare the table. We go to next value. How we came to value 2.01? It's the difference between 15.04 minus 13.03. Similarly, 16.81 minus 15.04, you will get 1.77. And 18.42 minus 16.81, answer is 1.61. 19.9 minus 18.42, you will get 1.48. Then 21.27 minus 19.9, answer is 1.37. So this is how we take the difference between the values and we prepared this del column. And one sample I put it here so that you can understand how we proceed. The same process you need to adopt to calculate the value for del square. So while calculating del square, what you will do? You will take 2.01 minus 2.4, answer is minus 0.39. Again, 1.77 minus 2.01, answer is minus 0.24. Again, 1.61 minus 1.77, answer is minus 0.16. Similarly, you will get minus 0.13, minus 0.11, and this is how you will get del square values. Then we will go to del cube. In del cube, again same process, minus 0.24 minus 0.39, answer is 0.15. Similarly, take the difference between minus 0.16 and minus 0.24, you will get 0.08, and you can also estimate the remaining values as well. So you can see how we calculate the values and prepare the table. Again, here I restricted up to del raised to 4, but you may say that we can also calculate del raised to 5 by taking the difference between these values. So del raised to 5 is also possible. So you will get some value here and some value here. So del raised to 5 is also possible. Again, del raised to 6 is also possible by taking the difference between these two values. So if you have time in the examination, you can calculate the higher values as well. But even after taking the higher values, in final result you will find a little difference. But in the actual life or in doing code in the Python, you must calculate all the values of del. So this is the one important suggestion from my side. So we understood how to prepare the table. Now next thing is we need to understand how to select the values from this table, because we prepared the table. So we need to look at the question carefully. What you have to find out? You have to find out value of y when x is 160. So first thing is this 160 is at the beginning. So definitely you can say that we need to use Newton's forward interpolation. Suppose in the rare cases, if it is asked the find out value of y when x is, let's say, 340, then the value 340 is at the end of the data set. So you must go for Newton's backward interpolation formula. But as in this case, we have to find out the value of y when x is 160. So we will go for Newton's forward interpolation. And this 160 is very close to 150. So you need to select the corresponding values. So this will be your y naught, del y naught, del square y naught, del cube y naught, del raised to 4 y naught, and if you calculated then del raised to 5 y naught. So this is how you need to pick the values. This step is also very important. So do not get confused with this step. Again, once again, I will repeat. Find out the value of x which is close to 160. Here it is 150. And the path that I have shown here, you need to take those values from that path. Y naught, del y naught, del square y naught, del cube y naught, del raised to 4 y naught, and del raised to 5 y naught. Okay, I guess it is understandable. Next is, in the formula we also need the value of h. So we know that in case of Newton forward interpolation, the data points related to x are equispaced. So you will find here h value of h is 50. So 150 minus 100, it's 50. 200 minus 50, again it is 50, and it is same for all the values. So h will be 50. Then we prepared table, we selected the value from the table. Now we need to assign the notations to each values which we have taken from the table, so that while putting the values in the formula, there will not be any confusion or we do not do the mistakes. So we selected the values x naught 150, y naught 13.03, del y naught 2.01, del square y naught minus 0.24, del cube y naught 0.08, del raised to 4 y naught minus 0.05. Now we are interested in x is equal to 160, and we know that for given data h is 50. So we have to calculate the value for p. and we know this formula, x is equal to x naught plus ph. So put p on left side and take all other values to the right side, so that your equation will become x minus x naught upon h, where x is the value for the interest, that is we are interested in the value of y for x is 160. Then x naught, so x naught is we have to take here from the table and from the selected values, I would say. So x naught here is 150, and h is the interval, here it is 50. So put those values in the equation, x 160, x naught 150, h 50. Upon simplification, you will get the value of p as 0.2. So we also calculated the value of p as well. Now here the highest value of del is del raised to 4 y naught. So we need to write the formula for Newton's forward interpolation up to del raised to 4 y naught. If you consider del raised to 5 y naught, then you can add also additional terms. So here you can see I wrote the formula yp is equal to y x naught plus ph, which is equal to y naught plus p del y naught plus p into p minus 1 upon 2 factorial del square y naught plus p into p minus 1 into p minus 2 upon 3 factorial del cube y naught plus p into p minus 1 into p minus 2 into p minus 3 upon 4 factorial del raised to 4 y naught. Now we have formula, we have all the values, all the required values, I would say. Now you need to put the values in the formula. So you can see y naught 13.03, p 0.02, del y naught 13.03, again p, del raised to y naught, del cube y naught, del raised to 4 y naught. We put all the values, and once again I would like to mention here that you must write the values and along with the corresponding notations, because if we try to put the values in this equation by referring the table, then there is a chance of doing some mistake. So you should be very careful. Again, simplify that 13.03. Upon simplifying this particular term, you will get 0.402. Again, for this particular term, you will get, did I do any mistake? No, yeah, 0.192. For next term, you will get this particular value. And again, I also consider the one more value here. So, and particularly I put this value here because when you look at this value for the higher order, then it is 0.00168. So it is almost very close to 0. So you may think of neglecting those values, and you can consider only the values which are given in the table. Once again, I will check first value. This is second value. Yeah, this is second value. This is third value. This is fourth. Yeah, right. I took only the values from the table. Actually, I wanted to take the additional values as well, so that you will realize that whenever we go to the higher degrees, slowly the values will approach us to 0. This is what message I wanted to convey here. So that's why we can restrict our study to some particular value of del. For example, del raised to 4 y naught or del raised to 5 y naught. And upon simplification, you will get the answer as 13.46 nautical mile. This unit is also very important. So this is very important approach to solve the problem. Once again, I will repeat the problem to avoid confusion. So you can see here. First of all, what we did, we read the problem carefully. Then we prepared the table. From the table, by comparing the value of x, for which we have to calculate the value of y, we selected the appropriate values for x, y, and del. We take the value for h. Then we selected the values and assigned the notation to the same, so that we will avoid the confusion. We also calculated the value of p, and then we use Newton forward interpolation formula. We put all the values and calculated the solution. So this is very important. We will take one more example. Why? Because just like Lagrange's interpolation, here also, while defining the problem is defined in such a way that you may get confused like this. Please read this problem carefully. When you compare this problem with previous problem, the previous problem was very straightforward and you can easily solve it. But here, that is not the case. And in this case, you need to come up with a strategy. So how to decide a strategy? So first of all, we will read the problem carefully and then we will decide the strategy. So the values are given in the table and we have to estimate the number of students who obtained marks between 40 and 45. So this is very important. We need to find out that particular answer. And in the table, marks and number of students are given and marks are given for range. So 31 students received marks between 30 and 40. 42 students received marks between 40 and 50. 51 students received marks between 50 and 60, and so on. You can see here. Now, we cannot directly prepare table just like the previous example. So here we need to come up with certain strategy. So what we are doing here, we are modifying the given table and we are coming up with a cumulative frequency table. See, instead of 30, 40, 40, 50, 50, 60, 60, 70, 70, 80, what we are doing? We are taking the maximum marks. So you can see here 40, 50, 60, 70, and 80. So what we did, we took only the upper limit from the range. Then what to do? You need to take the cumulative value for number of students. Here what we are saying, marks less than 40. So how many students received marks less than 40? The answer is 31. So you can see here 31. Then how many students received marks less than 50? So here you need to take the sum of 31 plus 42 and the answer is 73. See how we are modifying the table. Then how many students received marks less than 60? So it will be 31 plus 42 plus 51 and the answer is 124. Similarly, how many students received marks less than 70? The answer is 31 plus 42 plus 51 plus 35. Answer is 159. Then finally, how many students received marks less than 80? The sum of all the values, 31 plus 42 plus 51 plus 35 plus 31. Answer is 190. So this particular step is very important we replaced marks by marks less than X and number of students as number of students, but for the given criteria. So this is very important step, I would say here. Now, when we look at this modified table, now you can confidently say that for this particular table, we can easily prepare the table. So we put the values of X, values of Y, and then we can find out the remaining values for del. So 73 minus 31, 42, 124 minus 73, 51, 159 minus 124, 35, 190 minus 159, 31, 51 minus 42, 9, 35 minus 51 minus 16, 31 minus 35 minus 4, minus 16 minus 9, it's minus 25, minus 4, minus 16, 12, 12 minus 25, it's 37. So this is how you got the table. Now next is to select the suitable values from the table, and along with that you can also take the values for x0. X0 is 40, that is initial value. X is 45, in which we are interested, which is somewhere here between 40 and 50. And by using that we can calculate the value of P. So X is 45, X0 is 40, and H is 10. So the difference is, you can see here, difference between any two successive value is 10, you can see here. So you can calculate the value of P as well. Then for given data points, you can write the formula for using Newton's forward method, and then put the values. So you can see y40, del y40, del square 40. So the value of, we are interested in x is equal to 45, and this 45 is very close to 40. So that's why we are picking these values and putting into the equation. So you can see the path that I have created in the table, and all these values are used and put into the equation. You may ask one more question, that 45 is also close to 50. So why we didn't go for 50? The answer is very simple. The Newton's forward interpolation formula is very effective when the value of x is very close to the beginning set of values. So that's why instead of 50 we are taking the 40, and upon simplification you got 47.87. so this is the answer. But important thing is that this is not the final answer, because this answer we received for the modified table. So what is the meaning of this answer? So 47.87 means we will take approximately 48, the integer, because number of students cannot be in points. It must be integer. So we will take 41. So what does this mean? There are 48 students who received less than 45 marks. This is the meaning of this answer. And what we are asked, we have to estimate a number of students who obtain marks between 40 and 45. This is important. And we know that there are 31 students who received less than 40 marks. And we know that there are 48 students who received less than 45 marks. So what we will do? We will take the difference between the number of students getting mass between 40 and 45 by taking the difference between 48 and 31, because 48 students who received less than 45 marks and 40 students are there who received marks, sorry, 31 students are there who received marks less than 40. So that's why we are taking the difference between 48 and 31, and whatever difference you will be getting, that is the correct answer, that the number of students who obtain marks between 40 and 45, and the correct answer is 17. So this is the final answer for the given problem. So that's it from my side. If you have any question related to Newton's forward method or Lagrange's interpolation, you can ask. The session is open for discussion.